you, but definitely for me. The last time I filmed was probably months ago because kids are out of school and it's summertime, so we've been off having adventures. Who am I? I'm Andy Schimmelpfennig, and I am the author of The Rise of Riverstone. It is my debut novel in my historical fantasy series that follows a family of women determined to control their own fates. Today is chapter 5. We are going to be talking about something that may be sensitive for some people, but it's definitely something to consider when you're writing your novel, and that's religion. Is there religion in your novel? Is it one that exists in the real world? Is it one that's made up? It's important because it can drive a lot of what your characters do in your story. In The Rise of Riverstone, in Pred, where Laria lives, they don't have a religion that they follow, and there is a reason for that. But the people who come in and invade do follow some sort of spiritualism. And in this case, it involves divination and it involves psychics. Historically, oracles were conduits for the gods, and seers were consulted to sort of either find out what the outcome of battles are. They interpreted signs that the gods gave them, and you can only ask them yes or no questions. Sometimes you had to ask a lot of questions, maybe even sacrifice a lamb or two to get the answer that you were looking for. Divination is also really important to consider. There's astrology, where you're interpreting the stars. Geomancy is finding like patterns in sand and interpreting those figures traced in the sand. Dreams, mediums, obviously, tarot cards, palm reading, and one thing that I'm going to be talking about today is rune stones. The rune, when you're doing ruination, is that the right word? Shit, I should look that up. 24 stones, and you use them to tell your fortune. Usually you have an intent or question, and they all represent some sort of answer to your question. Ask the stones after you ask your question, and it will answer it for you. Let's do that. All right, these are rune stones. You can buy them. We made them. My kids painted these with me, and each one has a separate symbol, and each of those symbols has a meaning. And so there's a couple of different ways you can cast your runes. You can think of a yes or no question and just pull one out, and that will help answer your question. Or you can set them up in layouts. There's 5, 7, 9, or the full amount. And there's a couple of ways to cast your runes after you think of your question. Traditionally, you throw them onto a piece of fabric, or you can have a bag that you have your runes in, and then you just take them out after you think of your question in whatever formation that you have decided that you're going to do. And that's what we're going to do. And I think I'm going to do 5 of them. So let's do that. So I'm going to think of a question, and I think for me, it's going to be, am I going to get this book to finished when I want it to be finished? There's so many factors involved in that, but I'll ask. So now I'm going to pick out 5. And I'm going to lay them out in a cross pattern. Okay. So the one at the bottom is going to be the basic influences that impact that question. The one on the left are going to be your problems that might influence it. Top, positive. The right is the immediate answer. Goodness. And then in the middle are going to be any future influences to your question. So let's interpret this, shall we? Okay, so my first one is this guy, and he was on the bottom. It says your your basic influences that impact your question. This is heritage. It is the rune of inheritance. It tells of our lasting legacy, spiritual heritage, values becoming aligned to what is truly important. Also, unfortunately, if you reverse it, it can indicate unwanted inherited issues and prejudice. So maybe this means it'll be my legacy. All right, this is my next one, and this one was on the top. Top one again was your positives. This is called Dawn, and it shows the coming of age and the ending of a cycle. New beginnings are approaching, and new breakthroughs, awareness, and awakenings are possible. Does that mean I'm gonna like start a new project right in the middle of this? All right, this is my next one. So this one was on the far left, and that one indicates a problem that might influence what you want. Oh, I don't know if you can see that. And this is called Birch, and it is the rune of birth. It represents the birch goddess, and so indicates fertility and creation, not just of an actual birth, but projects. Thank God, because I swear if this was indicating that I'm not going to be able to publish because I get pregnant, I'd be upset. But maybe it just means I start another book right in the middle, like a novella. Sounds like a good idea. This is my far right, which gives me an immediate answer to my question, which is, will I have book 2 published by next year? This is Ox, and it represents strength, endurance, hard work, and perseverance. I'm going to just say that means I'm going to get it done. We're going to get this baby published by next year. Okay, but we still have one more, and that's this guy right here. That's the middle child, and that shows future influences. This is message. It's representative of the ancestral gods Odin's wisdom, and so indicates a divine message or insight arriving. It can mean good advice, wisdom, truth, inspiration, and enthusiasm. That sounds promising, if I'm saying right now. But that sounds promising. Well, I don't know about you, but I'm going to take all that to mean that I'm definitely going to get book 2 published by next year. So just remember, when you're writing your book, you might have to consider some sort of spiritual influences of some kind, because it does drive a lot of plots and influence your characters quite a bit. Even a lack of religion or spirituality can do the same thing. Again, my name is Mayna Schimmelfinnig. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Still haven't done the TikTok. I don't know if I have energy for it. But please check out The Rise of Riverstone. It is the book 1 in the Daughters of Riverstone series. It follows a family of women who are determined to control their own fates with some interesting consequences. They have adventures, they have romance, they have tragedy. There's something for everybody, so please check it out. And I'll see you next time.